Welcome to Portugal. So excuse me because I am low energy. Okay, I'm still recovering from this non-sleep that I've been having this entire trip. So I just left from Morocco this morning. My flight at like noon and just got here. I've checked my hotel. It's currently like 3 o'clock. I have a walking tour scheduled for 4:30. So I'm just gonna get settled in real quick, try to find something to eat, and then do this little walking tour that I found for free. And I can link that for you guys if you're interested. So I'm at this hotel, which is called My Story Hotel Tejo. I think My Story Hotel is like a chain that they have here out in Portugal, but I'm at the Tejo location, which is close to the water. All right, y'all, this is the room. It's so cute. Super, look at this little fridge. Adorable. But yeah, I've got like a closet here, and then quickly show you guys the street. So the water is, I think you can kind of see it. No, that's the sky, just kidding, but the water is that way. But yeah, I'm just kind of like on the street. So this is the bathroom, which is really nice as well. Got a really lovely like walk-in shower, and it's got like the overhead thing, which I hate using those, but luckily it's got this little guy here as well. But yeah, it's really cute. Very happy with the hotel that I picked, and I can link this for you guys if you're interested. I think I'm gonna change. It's a little chilly. I think it's like 70 degrees, but it's like kind of cloudy going in and out. It's like 65 degrees out now, and it's kind of cloudy, so changing to something a little more comfy. It's really like a cafe that I came to. It's called Manjerica. It's like literally a 2-minute walk around the corner from my hotel. So I was looking for something quick because I'm kind of hungry and I didn't really get a chance to eat breakfast. They had a little breakfast for us at the resort earlier, but I wasn't really feeling it too much. So this is a dirty chai because your girl is tired. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more when I get back, but there's a lot of people here. I don't want to be disturbing? I don't want to disturb people while I'm here, so I'll let y'all know when we get back. So let's tell what we got. Y'all saw the video earlier. I'll tell you a little more. And you know I'll do an unboxing video later. oxtail tacos, which I was not expecting to be here. I'm at like a tapas restaurant. It's called Tapa Bucho, and ordering that, and they're like a version of an espresso martini, which they call like a Scotch caffeine, and it's got like whiskey in it instead of vodka. So that should be interesting. And this like sweet, he said. So I love that. We love a sweet drink because coffee I'm still getting used to. So there's like vanilla syrup in it, which is great. And then I got something called cauliflower two textures. So hopefully it's gonna be good. Like I've had tapas in the States, but I wanted to try it here. I saw that there was a couple places out here. This one's called Tapa Bucho, but there's another one called Leve. So maybe I'll try that out tomorrow. And then it's like 8:30 right now, so I might try to do like a rooftop bar after this. I passed by a lot of bars walking here, so I'll check it out.
Not in Porto. And you
Okay.
can call it port wine.
Okay.
I took for a try after.
This is like a wine or like a...
It is like the wine liquor. Yeah,
Okay,
it is
wine liquor,
sweet,
okay.
but we have a lot of alcohol, so be careful.
Okay. Oh my god, my waiter gave me this, y'all. He said it's like a wine liquor. He said to go ahead and start my night. Oh my god. Okay, let me not smell it. That would have been a bad idea. Don't smell it. Just go for it. I still have a little bit of espresso martini left, so I'm gonna use that as like my chaser. Okay. That's so interesting. It really does taste like a mix between wine and liquor. That was really good. Okay. Cheers. I think I climbed and descended 8,000 steps today.
I was happily married, which is like 5 years ago. I had 3 kids, I was working the company that out.
I keep telling myself, I was saying this to Jen, but I feel like change regardless is gonna suck. And I think if I moved to like North Carolina or Texas, wherever.
One thing about me, I'm gonna find me a rooftop bar in the middle of Europe. This is called Joppa Rooftop, and this is the tropical jungle. It's got pineapple juice in it. I don't know. It's good though. Over in the distance, you can't really see it, but there's like a bridge here that looks exactly like the Golden State Bridge in California. So they're basically saying that like Lisbon and California are like, San Francisco are like twin cities, and they have like trolleys, and it's very hilly, like lots of hills. I think I walked like 10,000 steps today. So it's very like similar, like infrastructure wise to San Francisco, which is really cute.
We had a big earthquake, 1755, which destroyed the city by the time. By the time the city was just there at the bottom in the city center, not here. This one has around 250 years. It was being constructed when the earthquake.
What is it?
Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm at Sintra. It's like a palace, I think, and then we're gonna do like a winery. Pena Palace. Sintra is the name of the area, and then we're gonna do like a winery, and with like a tour group that I booked a few days ago. So we're waiting on our driver to go park the car, and then I guess we'll get started. It was like a 30-minute drive to get up here, and it's super windy roads. Honestly, I don't think I would ever drive if I came back to Portugal. the roads, all the roads everywhere are like super skinny, tiny, and people are driving like all kinds of ways. So I would definitely recommend either getting like a driver or taking the train or something for sure.
And we found the prince from the north of Europe, okay? Prince Ferdinand. He comes here, he gets married with our queen, and after having the first son, he becomes King of Portugal. This was the 19th century, the century of the Romanticism in Europe, so that's why he also starts to plant all the park while he was constructing the palace with the trees from all over the world. So before being a palace, this was a monastery made by the King Manuel. There is a building with a lot of tiles. Okay, tiles, it's part of the Arabic culture. They were the ones who implemented this here about 1,000 years ago. Rounded, circle, they are Gothic style, just a small example. Okay? This building is mainly decorations, like a lot of Winery style with the rope that goes around, Gothic style with some symbols and dots from the This palace was a summer residence, okay? It was made to be a summer residence, not properly to live. And it has the open hand. If you come in this, you have the key to enter. Okay, you see the key there, the hand. But then it always mixes with some other styles, like I was saying, the Manuelian style with the crocodiles. Lisbon is over there. North, okay, with all the Atlantic Ocean. North, okay.
Wow, that's so pretty. He was like, "Are y'all afraid of heights?" I was like, it's the castle in the distance that he was talking about. Over here.
The reconstruction, okay? Well, when the King Ferdinand buys here the property,
This
the
is
land,
the new
he buys the
monastery
ruins of
added on to the
monastery,
palace.
or something like that. Okay?
So
Yes.
Lisbon is
This-
over here. Also, I'm wearing a dress today. Not the best idea. It's cold and windy, so keep that in mind if you're planning on coming here. Oh, we got her a good time. Goodness.
On your video, no
Yeah.
one's gonna come to the
Just come early. So. Okay, so now we're in the village and we're gonna eat lunch real quick before the winery.
is Andre Mans. That's why we are Mans Wine. You see Mans on the bottom. That's his family name. His great-grandfather was from Hungary. Andre was born in Brazil, so Andre is Brazilian. And so you can see a little bit of items that were used in the old days at the vineyard, at the winery, old pumps, old crushers. We have vineyards scattered all over around here, and this is Mount Lexington, and have a lot of sea fossils, oysters, shells, mussels. You'll see it better. The first bottle that was a mock-up, it was a joke, but it went up to be the name of our most famous wine. The wine is called Dona Fatima. Dona Fatima means Mrs. Fatima, which is the name of his mother-in-law.
Guy from Lisbon.
Only the grape juice with only sugar, no alcohol. Then yeast will eat the sugar, turning the sugar into alcohol. Okay. So this is our garden. Margarida is the CFO, so she's Andre's wife, and she's the one that pays the bills usually. This was a little bit expensive, so he paid the tribute. The first three is Fernão Pires. It's a white grape that is very high yield and very productive, as you can see. Then you have Arinto. The other three is Arinto, which is a grape variety that is less productive but more common. And then the three that seem like they're dying almost is the Jampal, that grape variety that we are the only ones planting. And you can start understanding why people abandoned it. It's really hard to work with her. She gives really low yields. She's very sensitive to diseases. So it gives a lot of quality to the wines, but it's a headache to work with. There's about 50 to 60 centimeters of gravel, and it looks like clay. But then underneath, what you have is these the big rocks. And if you come closer, you'll see that the rocks are filled with sea fossils, with mussels, with clams, with shells. And this, you either have it or you don't. You can go closer. You see that it's literally the bottom of the ocean. This building is really old. It's an old stone. I don't want you to ruin it with your head.
Okay.
Now it's the tasting room, and you can sit at the table. You can pick your seat as you wish. Don't be afraid to sit on top of the table because the bill has already been paid, so no one has any bill. Only 2 hours skin contact. It's made with a red grape called Castelão, which is a Portuguese traditional red grape. And we want to make something that when you drink, you feel crispiness and freshness. That comes to wine through the acidity. But for rosé, you want freshness. You want red berries, you don't want dark berries. Understand? You want something that is fresh, refreshing. And so this rosé is the 2023 vintage. Never chill a wine too much. Anything we put in our taste buds below 7 degrees Celsius, don't ask me how much Fahrenheit that is. Okay? But anything too cold in our palate, you don't taste it. It just refreshes you, but you don't taste it. For me, optimum temperature from 10 to 12 on whites and rosés. On reds between 16 and 18 degrees Celsius. Okay? Who else wants to
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody, yeah, we're over here.
Wines that we found in the beginning. Every year we've been cloning, taking to a nursery, planting a new vineyard, and it's a very slow process. This wine, like I told you, was considered by Bloomberg as one of the 10 most memorable wines of 2021. It's made with 4 grapes, which means that each grape gives something to the wine. And for example, it's made with Syrah, Torri Nacional, Portuguese red grape, Aragonês, that you also know as Tempranillo. It's in Portugal we call Tinta Roriz or Aragonês, and Castelão, the same grape you have in the rosé. Whichever is your taste profile, you will probably like this wine. But if it's a young wine, you should always aerate it because it releases the wine breed, so it gets better. You enjoy more of the wine.
I think my favorite is the rosé so far. I didn't hear anything he said about this one. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Oh, he said this one was more fruity. That's what he said. More fruity. Oh, I love that for you. Love that. That's amazing.
The docks in the South Bank, so you have port wine in the North Bank, and the South Bank is Gaia, where you have the cellars of port wine. It's staged there before it's shipped to the world. So it's called port wine because it left Porto, but it's made actually in the Douro Valley. Yeah.
Birthday to you.
In Spanish.
Happy, feliz cumpleaños.
Y amiguitos, que Dios te bendiga.
Em português é parabéns pra você.
Yes.
Nossa data querida, muitas felicidades, muitos anos de vida.
We were supposed to have like 6 tastings. I think I had like 10. Shout out to this place. I'm gonna tag it when I get back. I'm gonna let y'all know the location. They have pizza and wine. Highly recommend this place. Okay, I was talking to everyone in our little group on the way back. They were so nice. I feel like we were really quiet when we first started out on the trip, but of course I think the wine kind of loosened everybody up a little bit, but it was so nice. Like, some of us were from North Carolina, some from Boston. We were just chatting about our travels and everything, so it was really nice. But I'm back on to the way to the hotel now. Take a little break before we go to dinner later. Oh my gosh, why did I just find 65 euro on the ground? I haven't had cash this whole time. Back at the hotel, I took a nap. Yeah, that tour and that wine took me out. Also, I feel like I'm about to start coming down with something. A couple of people started getting sick when we were in Morocco, like the day before we left. The day before we left, I was on there for 3 days. People started getting sick in Morocco, so I was like, oh no. And then today was really, really cold at the Pena Palace and at the winery, and my outfit choice was not the best, to be honest. I'll throw up a picture for what I was wearing. It was really cute, but babe, it's a lot colder than I thought it was going to be, so that probably did not help. I woke up this morning already feeling like I had a little something going on, like a little sore throat, and yeah, and so I took a nap, and I feel like it always gets worse after you take a nap and you wake up. I'm pretty sure I have a slight fever. But you know, I have a flight tomorrow at noon. I'm also supposed to make it out to this dessert place. It's like this thing in Portugal. When you're here, they're like, oh, you have to have this. Let me see what it's called again. So it's called a pastéis de nata, which is like a custard tart. I was supposed to go tonight, and then I was supposed to go to dinner and go see, like, there's this restaurant with fado, which is the Portuguese music here. It's like the traditional Portuguese music with 2 guitars and a singer. I was supposed to go to a restaurant that my tour guide today recommended to me, but I hit that pillow. Oh my gosh. I think I still have makeup underneath my eye. It's like running, but yeah, I did not make it. Honestly, I had a good day. I walked around the city yesterday, got some good food, went to a tapas bar, went to a rooftop, saw the sights today, had some really good wine, met some great people. So I think I'm all right. There is a pastry place not far from here, so I may go in the morning. It opens at 8:30 and my flight's not until 12:30. So I may go when it first opens. I'm gonna see how I feel in the morning and try that out. But I was just like fiddling around with stuff in my room and I realized, hold on, that my hotel gave me exactly what I was about to go look for. So it was like in this little box and I just hadn't opened it since I've been here. But this is basically what it is. Let me see if I can get the lighting better. Can you all see that? This is the pastéis de nata thing. So it's like a custard tart thing. It's been sitting here for 2 days though, so I don't think it's the best example of what they have to offer, but we're gonna try it. Okay. It literally tastes like custard and a little pastry, like a puff pastry or something. I'm about to pack up and then I'll check with y'all in the morning.